Welcome. Before I pass out, because I've been streaming for 20 something plus hours. In fact, I think it may be more than that. Scholars, we are going to just jump into this. It was, about 20 hours. 20 hours. And I've been playing nonstop. Where a lot of streamers, a lot of content creators, a lot of players just jumped in and speed run the campaign, right? Just get through legendary, get ready for raid race, or contest mode in general. But I did the thing. I went through. I played everything I could. I played the exploration game of exploring and finding secrets. I did side missions. I did the new exotic mission. I did the new public events, or whatever you want to call it, that's timed for some reason and was supposed to be a secret as well. That's why they didn't want to reveal it. Here, I'm going to give you my first impressions. Now, I'm going to do a brutally honest review. Just, there's a lot of things that I still need to experience. I've almost completed every quest, like side mission. I've almost done it all. I've not experienced the different world tiers, right? I still haven't done Mythic or Fabled. That's something that I still need to do before I give like a 100% like brutally honest review on everything. I also haven't done the weekly missions, though. Let's be honest, there's really nothing special or unique. It's just missions with some modifiers. That's it. That's all it is. It's just special modifiers. It is what we've everything, the time lapse missions, same thing. I would like to try it to see it, but I know the weekly missions, something we've always had. And then, like I said, the Sieve, which is the public events that you get the exotics, the new exotic armor. All right, just to break down some stuff. I'm just gonna briefly talk about some things. I'm not going to, I want to talk about the expansion mostly, but I do want to note some things, right? I've not really dived into the portal. By the way, forgive me, my voice is about to go out because I've been talking for 20 hours. One of the big things, as you can tell, is that the world is grayed out. I said in my previous video that Edge of Fate was a failure based on the community sentiment. And that one of the things is that they are soft setting 90% of the game. This is absolutely true. In fact, they've graded out the old world. They're like, boop, here's the oldness, here's the hotness. It is almost comical how we just got the Pale Heart, and it is just, I don't understand how we are already just like pushing everything away. We want the portal to be the main hotness, right? So that's the main thing on the free stuff. And then I'll also talk about I said I would love the armor changes, and I love them. I love that I can build into stats and really kind of flex out my build for whatever I want. And I really enjoy it, right? I've had a great time. I was rocking Icebreaker with my sword stronghold build with a rake angle, or my Fatebringer. I'd go back and forth depending on what I was doing. Really fun time with my Prismatic Titan. I say fun, like the build itself is fun. We'll get to the actual campaign in a minute. But I would like to open the world as reference. Let's talk about the exploration, right? My first impressions, exploration. What do I think about Kepler? I get a lot of different vibes. I get like Tangle Shore vibes. I got Titan vibes with some of the buildings. I got there was parts that remind me of Halo with like Halo 3, the Grave Mine. We're going back to High Charity and it's all covered in like pus. Like it really kind of like was that. It felt like that was what it was in some of the areas. I'm just gonna be honest. It felt like sometimes there was just a bunch of random pipes and bullshit to be bullshit. Like, hey, we're gonna just put a bunch of random crap to make you want to go through the pipes and go through this area. And exploration in this was incredibly boring. It was just so boring. I feel like Kepler is Mercury. When it comes to like entertainment, it is probably one of the worst destinations. I don't know which one I like less. I think I like it more than Neomuna, but not by much. It is just half the time you're either in canyons, you're in buildings, which is like prototypical, or you're in like pus areas. Like it feels just meh, which is really weird. Like the beginning when you start the mission, it's very impressive, the skybox, everything. But after that, it's just, you're just in this like weird corridor and it's just not as enticing as some of the other areas that we get in other parts of the game. The secrets are, sometimes the secret is just literally by opening a chest, by finding that little hidden like node to get Matter Spark activated, and then you get the chest and there's your secret. I think I think the secret selling that they did was overemphasized. I think it was overhyped. All the little secrets and things on the map, I think it was overhyped. If I'm my first impression. And sometimes they just made things convoluted to make convoluted, like especially some of these side missions, they made them like hidden secrets that you have to find to unlock. And it's like, I just want to do the quest. I don't want to sit here and do secrets. And it feels really annoying. Okay, so you didn't like the exploration. You thought the secrets were overdone. What about Matter Spark? What about that? I felt like most of the campaign was force feeding you. You would think Bungie would have learned from their mistake from Lightfall, but they did it again, where they force feed Matter Spark the entire time. And I played on Legendary and it sucked. It is significantly worse. Like you don't get like until like a decent ability where you cause an AoE explosion to damage things and break shields and all that. You don't get that until like later in the game. It is absolutely unbearable to sit there and play Matter Spark because you're just ticking at things. And the game forces you. There will be boss fights where you have to collect motes. And that happens a lot where you're just collecting motes. You're playing Gambit or you're charging pylons. Gambit, pylons, Gambit, pylons. It is just so repetitively boring. It is like, I did everything I could to actively avoid using Matter Spark because it was that bad. And it never really improved. Like you're using your guns is better than Matter Spark. And you die. You're supposed to get like a buff for defense, but I instantly just die. Not only that, but it's bugged. There are plenty of times I wiped during a boss fight that I'm supposed to pop their shield using the Matter Spark ability. And I'm sitting there clicking my mouse, clicking the button, and it just doesn't work. And it's not the only thing that broke. My melee would also break after using Matter Spark. I would sit there trying to throw my shield to get overshield and do some damage and get radiant and whatnot, and it just wouldn't work. I'm just sitting there clicking like, hello? So it really made the experience a bad time. It was awful. And I heard that like console is having a nightmare logging in, like they are having a bad time. I never crashed, so that's one of the things I can't really speak to. I had an easy experience. I immediately loaded in. Granted, there was hardly anyone on Steam compared to other expansions. It was pretty bad. Boss fight. Let's talk about it. You'll go to these different regions, and you won't just go. Some of these regions you'll go not once, not twice, 3 times, sometimes even 4, depending. Like one or two of them you do like 4 times, and you'll have a main quest that takes you in there. At least guaranteed in every region, there's 2 bosses. You will do a quest in one area and then progress the story, and then you'll go right back into the same region you just did, and you'll do another boss, or you'll do more ad clear. And it's so repetitive. It's so generic and boring. Like, it is it is comical, because Bungie said, guys, we're going to break the mold. You're going to choose your path. And yet the path that they set is literally predictable. It is so predictable, it's boring. Guys, you're going to fight a giant servitor. Now you're going to fight a giant shank. Now you're a giant minotaur. Now a giant hydra. Oh, giant archon. And then another archon. And then a sniper. Oh, and now we got a giant brig. Like, all the enemies are just supersized, generic ass enemies. There's only 2 enemies that are really like new and fresh, and that's the Corsairs and the little imp swarms. Sure, we have the dregs with the spikes, and the captains that have like the little stasis blast gun, and they can use stasis and strand. Which is, I'm still wondering where that explanation came from. Like, I understand dark matter, but where the fuck did they start learning how to use strand and stasis? Like, that's not really explained. At least it's one of the side missions I've yet to complete. But like, I'm just personally confused as to where the hell they started learning to use strand. It's just like, what? But yeah, bosses are generic, and except for like the final boss is unique. Gameplay, predictable, boring. Narrative. What about the narrative? I'm not kidding you when I say this has got to be some of the most boring narrative I have ever heard. Like, it's interesting. It feels like weird fan fiction with Ikora. Oh, time to wake up. Yeah, it's like weird fan fiction for Ikora, but it's all right. My biggest beef is the fact that both we've had Savala in the final shape where he had like a breakdown about his past, and then you have the same thing happen with Ikora in this expansion. I don't know what it is with Bungie and these core characters where everyone has to have a midlife crisis or some kind of life crisis about their past. It's like, why? Why does everyone have to have some kind of crisis? The 9 is like briefly weaved in, like it's just so paper thin. Like, everything that's going on is just so paper thin until you get to the end. And there's, spoilers. If you didn't want spoilers, oh well. Maya Sundaresh is one of the main villains and turns out to be the main villain. She kills a fucking god somehow. It is so unwarranted that she literally, and by the way, it's funny because we've actually, throughout the entire time, Bungie refuses to acknowledge the darkness, the echo, like anything episode-wise outside of Maya Sundaresh. Like, they never once mentioned the darkness. They mentioned light, but they never mentioned darkness. At least not that I've seen so far. And they mentioned the witness one time. Like, they skirt around it talking about the collapse. They talk about the collapse without mentioning darkness one time. It's really weird. But yeah, at the end, we get like this Giga Chad cutscene. You're like, okay. But then you're like, okay, that's kind of bullshit. Why is Maya killing a god? Like, she kills a god and it doesn't make sense to me. Because she didn't earn it. She just shows up. She's an annoying bitch the entire time. And she just kills a god. For some fucking reason, Maya Sundaresh can kill gods now. Even though she got bitch slapped by a Nova bomb and went down a river of cum, somehow she now can kill a fucking god. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. No sense at all. I was very whelmed. Like, I was not having fun doing Legendary because of the bugs, the forced matter spark. The narrative was very mid and disappointing. Side missions were just generic, like fetch quests, or hell, the main campaign was fetch quest. Fetch quest, do this, go that, go this, fish, hey, do this, fetch quest. Like the entire thing was like fetch quest. And you had Gambit and then pylons, It is crazy that, and they also said like, hey, you choose your own path, but choosing your own path in the campaign was literally, hey, you've got to do these missions, but you also got to do these missions, and you could choose which one you want. But at the end of it, you have to do this mission, but first you have to do these two missions, and it doesn't matter which order you do because it has no impact on the story. Like, they made it sound like there's a lot of flexibility, and there really isn't. Like, you just get a bunch of random side quests that you can skip or do later. The main quest just always follows a very linear path. No matter what you do, it's pretty linear, which is fine, but they advertised it as you were going to do something like it was going to be more unique and special. The Sieve is like a combination of Onslaught. No, it is Onslaught. It's literally you're sitting there protecting the area, killing all the enemies, breaking shields with your dark matter. And then at the second round is just fighting the boss. And the first boss that I fought was literally copy pasta from the sniper from the Tangle Shore. And I said he looks different, but he literally is a sniper. And he makes clones of himself, just like the Tangle Shore sniper. It's the Scorn. We have the Fallen version now, but the Scorn version from Forsaken. That's pretty much what I'm talking about. I don't understand why. One, I don't understand why it had to be a secret. Two, I don't understand why it has to be a limited time event. It is short. And it's not really hard, and it's not really that fun. It is a very generic ass activity. It's not impressive, and it makes me wonder why. Why? Why was this hidden? Why can't you just tell this? No new strikes. There was a lost sector, even though it's not an official lost sector. One of these regions, you go to a secret and you always have a giant servitor spawn, and then you can open a chest for loot. It's essentially a lost sector, but I guess Bungie doesn't want to call them lost sectors for some reason. It's just a secret. It is very disappointing how much I spent 20 hours playing, and the most fun I could find out of this whole thing was the new stats. Playing with the new stats. I also think that I changed my mind. I shat on the scout rifle. I think it is much better than I anticipated. Like, it plays a different role than Choir of One. Choir of One's still amazing, but I do think that third iteration definitely has potential. Graviton Spike always said we had potential. It's fun. I haven't played it in like high tier content, so I don't know how good it is or whether it's worth running in place of something else. But I do like the new stats and whatnot. Like, I like that. That was the best thing, even though that's not part of the expansion. And I'm just trying to think about anything positive about the expansion, but there really isn't any. the most positive thing I can think about the expansion was that it was over. Except for the final cutscene was pretty big. It was pretty big. Obviously, we have to wait to see the raid. Also have to see how challenging world tiers are. The weapons, I never really used the new weapons. I thought it was pretty interesting. It wasn't hard to get a weapon with enhanced perks. Like crafting's gone, but it wasn't hard. You get like tier 2 with enhanced perks pretty regularly. It's not hard to get something like this. So hats off to them for that. That is something positive that people who want crafting, it's really not hard to get an enhanced gun. You just have to get a role you're okay with, and you know what, you're good. You're getting enhanced. Sure, you're not getting these enhanced or the origin trait, but the main thing that I think people will care about the most is the perks enhanced, which is what you would do when you're crafting anyway. So tier 2 is essentially crafting, normal crafting as is. And I think people who are into that are going to be okay. I just deleted everything. I don't care about the weapons right now. Mostly because what I have is what I have, and I like what I have currently. There are other things I would like to talk about, but I'm going to save them for my brutally honest review. I just want to talk mainly about the expansion. Ask me, do I think you should buy this? And right now, no. It is subpar. The experience reminds me of a Curse of Osiris, where I played it and I was not really having a good time. It felt bad. And I tried. My opinion was on the ground, and I went in, I tried everything to try to, surprise myself, get excited. And no matter how much I tried to do and try new things, I just can't say it is worth your money. I just can't. Not worth $40. It's not. Maybe with a raid, if you're a raider, we'll have to wait and see. The raid, I've seen some leaks, and the raid seems very interesting. Yeah. So that's just my thoughts. Like I said, try to keep it as short as possible without rambling too much, and to save stuff for my brutally honest review. There may be stuff I'm missing, and it's very possible that there may be some key notes and maybe some bonuses that might be positive that I forgot. Overall, I will mention this is a W. Instead of having 30 materials in your inventory, they finally made a resource tab on the map for that site. This is a godsend that you can pull up the new destination map, and it will have all your materials in its own bracket. And it explains what it does and what the reason is for it and how to get it too. You also see your abilities, but it's whatever, right? This is great. So there you go. I did find a positive. I think that's a great change. There's a lot of negatives. There's been stealth nerfs, a lot of broken stuff, but save that for the brutally honest review, where I go in detail on every little thing. Okay. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I will leave you. I'm about to lose my voice, as you can tell. I'm going to sleep in, stream some more later, and get back into the grind, because I want to finish everything. I want to consume everything so I can give a fair, brutally honest review, and that no one can say, hey, you didn't try. I'm putting all my effort into just going through it, and maybe playing the story a second time will allow me to have a different opinion and maybe have a different perception. We will see. I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor. Hit the like button, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel for more. As always, don't forget to game.